It's Loving the Strange with Carrie Jones and Sean Farrar. Loving the Strange, a podcast for weirdos and those who want to be weirder. Embrace the strange. New episodes every Saturday, live streaming Fridays. Loving the Strange. Check us out. Hey, welcome to Loving the Strange, where Sean
What up?
worries me an entire podcast. And this podcast is about adulting, right, baby? Right?
Yeah, it is.
Are you going to be an adult?
During the podcast?
Yeah, man.
Aren't I always,
Never an adult.
Well, then I'm going to continue the trend, probably.
No. So anyways, this podcast is about, what is it about adulting?
It's like strange stuff you thought you'd never do as an adult. Like, I think my perception of it was, like, when you were a kid, you never thought you'd do these kind of things ever when you grew up.
I never thought I'd have a podcast.
You stole one of mine.
Sorry.
That ain't cool.
I'm not cool. We know that. I never realized I'd be so uncool as an adult as I am.
Oh, you're cool.
No,
you're cool.
No.
Yeah, look, you're old enough to apply for AARP. So in that demographic, you are cool.
The old people.
You are technologically literate, and
that is the worst compliment
musically
I've ever gotten.
and TV-ly.
TV-ly? Really? So Dee's here. Hey, Dee. Glad.
You'll probably be the only one here.
And that's all that matters.
I think John's traveling.
Because I love Dee.
On his Gulf Coast fishing vacation trip.
So John, for those of you who aren't common listeners or regular listeners, is someone who's amazing and Shawnee grew up with.
John Bell.
And Florida. And often John fills in for the memory gaps that Sean has about his own life.
Yeah, he does a good job too.
He does.
Because he keeps out the stuff that get me in trouble.
Yeah, he does. And Dee says she loves me too. Yay! And Amanda's here. Hello, Amanda. Amanda and Dee, we're talking about weird things that we never imagined we'd do as grown-ups. When we were kids, or even earlier as grown-ups.
Wait, no offense to anybody listening now or in the future, but Madeline, Susie Burks just said the coolest thing.
Susie said,
I never thought I'd be listening to a podcast.
Which is kind of amazing, isn't it? Like,
yeah, because you listen to this crappy thing.
Susie, of all the podcasts.
Well, maybe we're 14th on our list.
Yeah, hopefully. So that's true, right? But there's other things, probably more fun or interesting, or maybe not, things like when you were a little kid. What did you imagine your life was going to be like, Sean?
Oh my God, I don't even remember, honestly.
Because we don't have Dumbbell here to tell us.
No, I told you last night we talked about some of the things I thought I might want to be as a little kid.
Oh, right.
A marine biologist or a wildlife, like, what was the show? I forgot.
Like Mutual of Omaha, Wild like Kingdom, or National Geographic.
Filmographer, something like that. But not quite.
No, when I was a little kid, I wanted to get assassinated, taking a bullet for Bono, the lead singer of U2, so that my assassination and martyrdom would cause instant peace in Ireland as they realized that this child sacrificed her life by dodging in front of an assassin's bullet while U2 played on stage in Dublin, inspiring
millions.
You were
wound up too tight as a kid. We should have been friends from like elementary school. I could have kept you from having those issues.
That's so mean. My martyr issues. Our local minister, I was talking to him via Facebook somehow, and we were talking about a book, and my favorite book as a kid was this really bizarre book called Illusions by Richard Bach, and it was called like The Adventures of a Reluctant Messiah was the log line basically. And I loved that book. And he was like, oh, the minister, he's not our minister, but he was like, I hated that book. Who wants to be a martyr? And I was like, oh, me. I needed so much therapy. Still do. And so, yeah, that's what I thought. So Susie said, at the moment, ours is the only one she listens to.
That
Doug
is so cool. I can't believe it. Oh my God, Susie, you made my month.
His whole month. Doug Marshall said he remembered because we were worried he was going to forget about the podcast. And I knew he would.
Who was worried?
Doug.
Oh, I wasn't worried.
And Amanda said, as a child, I never thought I would get excited whenever my credit score goes up.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. I never thought I'd get pissed off.
Shawnee,
when I was worried about my credit score going down. Never mind. I won't tell the rest of that story.
What?
Because somebody wasn't making payments for a house they weren't supposed to be living in anymore.
That's not me.
No.
No, let's just have that disclaimer.
That person's name starts with EX. Anyway, really funny. Credit scores are important.
And what do I do to your credit score, babe?
It's not about my credit score, it's about yours, baby.
And what do I do?
Yeah. It goes up. Just like, I don't even want to say. People aren't trying to steal your shit.
All right, so yay.
It's way up there, though.
Credit score, though, Amanda Courtney, is so weird.
It's so adult. That's really adult.
So adult.
That's like, if you think about that before the age of like 27, you're just wound up too tight. I
thought about that.
I know you're wound up too tight. You were probably like 12 when you started fielding calls for your mom from the debt collectors. Me too. I don't know how to do that.
No, she's not home right now. No, she's at work. I'll tell her you called. Okay. No, I'm really not, Betty. No. Very good at that. I also used to have to lie to my Nana too. Like, oh no, mom's not home from work yet.
That's just sad.
I think she went to the grocery store, and my mom be like, no, the bank. I'm like, no, she went to the bank.
You gonna air all your dirty laundry tonight? Or?
No, only about adulting. They're all dead. It's okay. So Dee said that Dee said, quote, I wanted to be a singer. My mom wanted me to be a poet. I did neither, but I do sing when no one else is around.
Don't we all?
Why only when no one else is around? I'm worried about this.
Carrie sings when people are around.
Only family members.
I can call over a stranger when you're in the shower and they can sit down here with me and listen to it.
I sing so loudly in the shower.
Show
it's like
tunes.
It's one of the I always have. I always have since I was a child. Not only show tunes, I sing like Kate Bush and U2 and a whole bunch of things.
But mainly it's show tunes.
Lucy Kaplansky. I sing a lot of things in the shower. And the point is that one time I was singing so loudly in the shower in the summer that when I got out, somebody applauded out on the street. And it was really embarrassing. But did it make me stop?
No.
No. I think it was sarcastic applause too, honestly.
No, it wasn't.
Was it you?
No. I've never heard you singing outside.
All right.
Only from downstairs.
So Doug Marshall says, I love babies, which I'm not sure if that's about adulting or not, or just his general love for babies, because there's a new baby in his life.
Yeah.
And Dee says, unless there's liquid courage, I don't sing in public. And Dee has a similar story. Do you want to read it out loud?
I was singing last Christmas in the kitchen while I was cooking and didn't realize anyone else was home. Last time I did that.
My favorite part of when no one else is home is like being able to be in complete control of the music and singing really loudly in the house. No offense.
To me?
Yeah.
Well, that's what you do in the bathroom when you shower.
I know. I have like this bubble of protection. So I never imagined that would happen. I never imagined that you would be able to pump music through your house. I know you did. As a like, didn't your grandparents have like stereo speakers everywhere or something?
They didn't have like speakers like we have in our house, like Sonos speakers and stuff. They had big speakers that would just throw the music throughout the whole house.
I can see that.
They didn't have speakers all over the house.
Oh, I imagined that they would. So Susie says, I balked at having a car phone, the big boxy kind, until the first time I put it in my car and go run off the road. Oh, got run off the road by an 18-wheeler during a trip to East Millinocket. That's in Maine, really far away, really up high, in a snowstorm. I was driving a Justy and it got buried off the left side embankment. Now I carry a phone in my pocket. I relate to that, actually.
Yeah. Although I don't know if there's any cell phone reception out there.
When I was a little baby reporter right after college, pretty much soon after college, in Ellsworth, Maine, we didn't have like GPSs on our phone yet. It was like that big boxy phone like Susie had, and the newspaper insisted I take it with me. And I got lost and I ran out of gas because my car was such a clunker that the gas thing didn't work. And I had to do it by guessing on the miles. Do you know what I mean? What's the gas thing? The fuel gauge.
Gas gauge. Fuel gauge.
I never imagined that adulting would mean that I would forget words all the time. But Susie,
you forget more as time goes on, baby.
I do. And as I was driving, I got so lost, like just so lost. And I ran out of gas when I was so lost. And it was just somewhere in Hancock County. And I have no idea still to this day where it is. And then finally, another car appears on this road and it's like bumping along, right? And they stop and it's like full of people, like way more people than you would expect in this car, right? And out of this car, comes a man and like 5 to 7 little boys, and they're all in Boy Scout outfits, including the man.
Oh my God!
And
you got rescued.
I got rescued by Boy Scouts, and so they all come out, and they're like, I knew one of them because he was also a teacher at the Hancock County Technical Institute, where I had to often do stories, and they all come out, and they go. And they give me gas and they fill up my car and they don't make me pay for gas because it's the life lesson for the Boy Scouts. And that man eventually became a state legislator that I ran against and lost for office. Brian Langley. So Brian Langley saved me. Like, so how do you run against somebody like that? It was amazing. But my phone didn't work.
No.
Because there was no reception at the end.
I don't think some people understand what it's like up here in Maine.
No, it's horrible. So, Dee said.
We already read down.
Oh, all right, wait. Doug said, I never thought I'd be a performer. I thought I'd be a published author. Instead, I'm pre-published. Well, you will be published someday. You don't give up. You're a good writer, Doug.
That's right, Doug.
Good writer, Doug. But that's funny that you never thought you would perform. And you do. And you love it. Theater, musical theater.
Doug does?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Directing, I think Doug's directed a little bit, but I might be wrong. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, Doug. But yeah, like I think that's really interesting. Like the things we end up. I never thought that I would be for a very, very short time a volunteer firefighter. Very short time.
Me neither.
Worst firefighter in the world. And did you ever imagine you were going to be a cop?
Probably not.
No. Right? Like
not until just before I did.
And you're like, oh, Benny's?
Benny's.
Yeah, I'll do that. Strut around in my uniform, I'll do that.
I've never strutted.
Sean had and still does, but it was worse when he was a cop, a very distinctive cowboy stride. Where
I've always had that.
My friends and I would talk about it, actually.
Why?
Because we're like, all right, at the time, there were a couple of very tall police officers in our town, and they both had that Aryan blonde hair, short cropped hair look, and they were both about the same height. And you could tell which was which because Sean had a very distinctive walk. And so we would be like, no, you want the cowboy walker one to come get you. He wants
I don't walk like a cowboy. I'm not bow-legged.
He's a little bow-legged.
No, I'm not.
You got an amble.
I like amble, yes.
And now you're rocking back and forth. Was that too much? Was that too much information about you, baby?
It's just like a cowboy on the porch of a saloon.
Rocking back and forth?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So Doug asked, Sean, did you ever have to arrest yourself?
Wow. I mean,
he should have.
That's like role play there. No. No, I never had to arrest myself.
That's too bad.
Never had to arrest Carrie either, but she's been handcuffed a few times.
That's not true. That's terrible. And then the podcast went on a terrible, terrible turn.
So tell me, what else did you never think you would do as an adult?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I never imagined I'd have to clean up so much dog poop.
What?
Like, I never realized how much of my life would be picking up dog poop and picking up dog fur.
That's because you refuse to live out in the woods where they can just run out off the yard and take a poop.
I have never refused to live out in the woods, baby.
Dude, we just had this discussion last night where you totally made it my dream to live out in the woods. It made it sound like you had no interest in it at all.
Okay, so whenever I'm really sad, I never imagined I'd get really sad as much as a grown-up. I thought it would be all freedom all the time. Yeah, rock. And and so whenever I get sad, Sean's always like, how about we just move and we'll get a place in the woods and we can have a dog rescue. And we'll have a farm, and you can love all the animals.
So I'm a little manipulative. So what?
And the truth is that was never my dream. But last night, when I was asking him, because we were reading Julia Cameron's book,
Not we.
All right, I was, and I was sharing it with him, and asked you, like, what 5 occupations do you imagine? Like, would you be? If you could be any and like know you're going to be successful at it, like if you could have 5 different lives with 5 different occupations, what would those be? And so I was like, well, what would yours be when you were a little kid, Sean? And he goes, I would like to have a ranch or like a farm. And I was like, what?
But not a vegetable farm.
No. And I'm like, that's why you're always like, hey baby, I think your dream. And he does. He's like, oh no, your dream. I know your real dream was just to live in a farm, like with a rescue dog.
It is. She's always talking.
It's not my dream.
Carrie gets like donkey rescue page things on her Facebook.
I do want a
and
donkey.
Every other one of her Facebook posts on her thing is about a dog. Not her posts, but what she gets.
On my feed.
Rescue dog.
All right. So this is boring. But it's true. I never thought I'd be a very short-lived firefighter. Sean never thought he'd be a cop. I never thought I'd be an author. And
I never thought I'd be running for any sort of elected position.
Shawnee's running for office.
Barely
running for office.
Barely. As it is barely an office.
No, it's an office. It's very important. Don't undersell it.
No, it is important, but still. Yeah.
All right. Ready?
What?
Susie says, I never thought I'd teach sailors and Marines how to swim. The sailors and Marines who had failed their officer training swim test. Aw, I bet you were a great teacher, Susie.
It's always been amazing to me as somebody that's from South Florida, like coastal South Florida, that people don't know how to swim. I mean, as an aged adult now, I know it's very common.
Yeah.
And it's just a fact of life.
Yeah.
I just thought everybody knew how to swim. Like everybody has a swimming pool.
Oh my gosh, your bubble. Your bubble is so big.
Or at least had a friend that had a swimming pool.
Florida.
I know.
New England here,
I'll admit it. But that's how it was.
In New England, where I lived, only like the wealthiest had swimming pools. Like,
you at least knew how to swim enough to go retrieve a fishing rod that slid out of your hand or something.
Me?
No, me. Like
Oh.
down in Florida.
Oh, yeah, but that's not like the sailors and Marines swim test, I bet. Like, I bet that was kind of hard.
No, but I bet a lot of those guys probably didn't know how to swim.
Oh, that's amazing.
Read what she said. She's teaching them how to swim.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot. My parents didn't know how to swim.
You know what?
What?
I think it'd be a lot harder to learn how to swim as an adult.
Oh, I don't know.
If you start out with the basics of like floating on your back and stuff, I just think it'd be like less instinctual.
Yeah.
It's like, you throw a newborn in the pool and they're going to float.
So my cousin says, "Good luck, cousin. You two are the best to represent people." Oh, no, cousin. No,
yeah. Carrie can't run.
No, it's not me. It's Shawnee. Yeah. I just write about everybody running. Because I have a news blog. I never thought I'd have a news blog. I never thought I would have been a newspaper editor or a reporter or have to pay bills or, again, pick up so much dog poop.
What did you think adult life was going to be like, baby? What did you think you were going to be? A lawyer with Amnesty International that had no dog?
Yeah. I thought I'd be like internationally jet setting, representing Amnesty International. Yeah.
I don't know that that's international jet setting.
Yeah.
I think that's commercial on a regular.
Oh, yeah. It would not be.
You're not even in first class or business class or anything.
I really wanted to be a human rights attorney.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then what else did I think I was going to be? Was that your question? I don't know. What did I think I was going to do? I don't know. I thought somebody else would pay my bills for me.
Well, you had that for a little while.
I don't know about you.
You're not.
Susie said, "I never thought I would not feel guilty when I ate chips, cookies, or cake for breakfast." Oh, that's interesting.
That's too many. Interpret that for me, please. I never thought I would not feel guilty.
Feel guilty.
Is Susie saying that now she does not feel guilty?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's progress.
Yeah. That is progress. Fiona says, "Economy all the way, if not cargo." I think it is cargo, honestly. Yeah, I think probably. Yeah.
You got to write down there with the animals that PETA's saved.
Yes, pretty much. And Doug said, "My father told me he'd never marry a woman who had to work. Times have changed." What?
Yeah, man.
What?
Hey.
Yes.
Nothing.
All right. So there's a Reddit thread where it asks, "What did you swear in your childhood you would never do but ended up doing anyways?" Which is also really interesting, right? And the first top answer, the toppest of the top answers that has the more upvotes than any other answer is bird watching.
Oh, that's what it was.
That's
the one for me. Not bird watching. What?
What?
I was looking at Doug's comment.
Oh, Doug said that.
Mom was for making babies.
Yeah, that his dad
that's what moms are for.
No. I never thought I'd be married to Sean.
I know.
Yeah.
You thought you'd be some boring Amnesty International attorney. But instead, you got an exciting life.
Fiona, thank you. So are dads or sperm donors. Fiona needs to go talk to Doug's dad, right? Straighten him out.
But he's probably not around. Baby, as long as I get the try.
Oh, geez. All right. So bird watching. And what they said was, "I used to think that it was the lamest way someone could spend their time when I was a kid. How could anyone just sit around and look at birds? What are you, some kind of bird creeper? 20 years later, and I'm obsessed with birds."
Yeah, that's nothing to be ashamed of.
No, but it's not what you imagine as a kid.
Well,
that's
I
the
never
point,
imagined
man.
that within the past 3 years, I would have purchased hummingbird feeders and all kinds of other feeders for our backyard and filled them with bird seed routinely and set up a camera by the hummingbird feeder Oh my God, I'm so old.
You are old. You know what did you in?
What?
COVID.
Yeah, we were stuck in the house.
I started gardening. You started watching birds. We like instantly aged 30 years during COVID. We started pickling. You started canning. You started canning and pickling. It was like we were suddenly born in the Depression era, and like it made us adult in a way I never imagined.
But then we stopped.
And then we're like, yeah, we're done with that.
Now our gardens are overgrown with weeds.
It's not weeds, it's raspberries.
We haven't had birds. We didn't have birds at all last summer. We called it climate change, but who knows?
Who knows? Fiona says, and identifying trees based on bark and leaves.
That's Carrie's genre.
I did that as a kid, actually.
I don't really know much about trees.
And Doug said, I started talking with my wife during COVID, I'm assuming. Doug!
I don't. Did we talk a lot during COVID? I don't remember.
I think we started this podcast during COVID, basically because we were so lonely that
we were so bored with each other. What do you mean?
We're like, we need to do something. Maybe Dee will talk to us, and that was how the podcast began. Christy says, "I'm a bird fanatic and I garden. I love it. But did you think you would do it as a kid?" Christy. And I can totally see you doing all those things. Fiona said, me too as a kid, but I'm doing it again now. That's cool. You know what I just got into again? Tracking. Like I got this cool tracking book for my birthday.
Oh, animal tracking.
Yeah.
I was confused for 1 second.
What kind of tracking did you
I don't know. I thought you were like talking about like geocaching or something.
No.
I was like, you don't do that.
No.
Stop lying.
Not that sexy. No. Like when
animal tracks.
But that's like weird. I don't know if you're feeling this, Fiona, but like it's almost like a circling back. Like as a kid, I didn't imagine like I'd grow up and I'd be like, oh, I want to learn more about like do tracking again. And I want to learn more about animals and like the mysteries of like the soil and foot placement and all that kind of cool stuff, right? And the stories that they tell. I kind of never thought I would just keep doing it either. So, but then there's like that circling back to who you used to be almost. Like it's weird. Does that happen at all to you, Shawnee? Shawnee's just laughing. Yeah, I don't even know what you're looking at.
No, you don't.
You're self-soothing still, rocking back and forth. What is going on over there, Shawnee?
It's good.
All right.
A happy space over here, right here.
All right.
Right here.
Christy's always been an old soul, so I guess that's why. Gardening. Birds.
Well,
pickle? Do you pickle too?
Yeah, do you pickle?
Do you can?
Can. That's what
yeah.
Do you can some veggies?
Yeah. Fiona says, yep, and in being amazed at how much you actually remember in terms of identifying things, I'm going to be tadpole watching next.
Hey, don't give Carrie any new ideas, please.
You like tadpoles, Shawnee. I was trying to convince Shawnee to be a frog farmer, and he wouldn't do it. All my ideas for him, he just shoots down.
Baby, we can't have commercial frog ponds in our backyard where we live.
No, we could move out to the wilderness like you want. So you could be a rancher, but you're a frog rancher. A frog rancher. And that is something you would...
I should be a worm herder too in the barn.
Yes, and those are things you never would have imagined as a child that you would grow up and do. So maybe you should. It's an adventure.
You better make some more money if I'm going to start blowing in on all these side gigs.
So much pressure. Fiona's like, do you have roundups with frog ranching? I don't know, but you should.
Couple of dogs. Chase all the frogs in the middle and you scoop them out of the net.
Some of the things that I'm just going to move past that. So some of the things that like they mention in the Reddit thread are also kind of sad. Like one person said that one thing that they never imagined that they would do as a grown-up is give up drawing. So
drawing?
Draw, DRAWING.
I know what you said.
Yeah. So they said, quote, I actually broke my own heart when I recently found a school project we did back when I was a kid. We had to write a letter for our future selves, and mine starts with, hey, did you become an artist already? I really hope you did not become a boring adult with a boring job who gave up on his dreams and passions. And then they wrote, well, sorry, little me, but I kind of did. And that's so sad.
Oh, man.
I know, right? Like, do you feel like you gave up on something you used to really love?
Me?
As you became an adult, or anybody?
I mean, I'm old enough now to be satisfied with my life as it's been lived out. But
yeah.
if I could go back and do it, I would like to have 10 more tries. Because you really got to shake it out to get the perfect go. You know what I mean?
No.
Well, all the mistakes you think you made or things you should have done, the opportunities that you passed up, may not really be what you thought they were going to be, just like from when you were a kid to an adult in real life. So it might take, you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
I know it's deep.
So deep.
But it might take like 10 or 12 passes to get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get it perfect, nailed down. And you know what? No matter if it took me 12 tries to get it nailed down, I'd still end up with you for my wife, baby.
You think?
Uh-huh.
How do you know that?
Because you're the perfect person for me.
Deep breath. That's very romantic.
Happy Valentine's Day 2024.
He didn't get me anything for Valentine's Day, but he gave me that statement. And that's worth it all. So Susie said, I never thought I would look forward to going to bed early or taking a nap.
Oh, dude. I would give my left pinky finger for a nap sometimes.
You would have no pinkies left. Like,
nah,
like
I had no fingers. That would be my hand.
Yeah, it'd be bad. I can't catch up.
Stubby's the only one that caught all that Hallmark crap I just spit out.
Because you just ruined it. You can't call it. Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding, baby.
You're such a jerk. Okay, so Christy said, I never thought I'd be a stay-at-home mom with 4 daughters.
4 daughters?
I was never going to have kids. I was supposed to be a fashion designer.
I bet you are a fashion designer now.
Yeah. Maybe.
4 daughters.
Fashioning for the Barbies.
You're going to be fashion immersed.
Yeah.
Unless you're just out of line and they make their own fashion. Because they're the kids.
Dee says adulting ruined his dream. Doug said, I never imagined I'd be overweight. I was painfully thin as a child.
Adulting ruins everybody's dreams. It's a fact of life.
Doug's is interesting because, like, do you?
That's a perfect example of adulting ruins everybody's dreams.
It's interesting to me because it's like you're in the body you're in now, right? Like, this is your meat suit, to be gross. But, like, when you were a little kid, you'd never imagined how that body would feel. Like, if you have aches and pains as a grown-up, or if you have, like, I don't know, just seeing the world from your different height. Like, that's so wild if you think about it, you know? Like,
yeah.
I think it's wild. You don't think it's wild?
No, I do. It's
like
the perspective of things, which could be a book, actually.
Yeah.
Somebody take that and run with it.
Fiona said, I literally froze thinking about having to go through it all again. I'd come back as a totally different life form, but if I could retain my memories, that would be great as well. Ari, the perfect person comment.
See right there, though, if you can't retain a little bit of memory, it's pointless. Because you're going to do the same damn thing every time.
That's true. Stubby said, if you have 4 daughters, you're definitely a stylist.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, it's so true.
You are a fashion designer. You just took a different route.
And Fiona said, I'm not much taller than when I was a kid, LOL. Also, our music intro is from Stubby. Boop. And you should check out all of his music, free promo, because he's amazing. He's super talented as a storyteller in so many ways, and he should throw down his beats in the chat so we can put it up. And Fiona said again that she isn't much taller than when she was a kid.
Me neither.
Really? Because you're super tall, man.
I know, but
are you just lying?
People said I was tall my whole life, so I don't know the difference. See?
Like you've always just been higher?
Yeah. Oh, sometimes I was really higher.
When you were hanging out at your grandparents' house, and all that residual stuff.
My mom too.
Yeah. Your mom's still alive. You're not supposed to say that.
I don't care.
Oh, it's medical.
Right.
So
nowadays. Back then it was purely recreational.
It's like, why does Sean have no childhood memories? Oh, I think we know.
I gotta remember that every time you try to tell me I'm all blocked off and walled up. No. It's marijuana.
It's not repressing everything.
I can't remember nothing. That's my excuse, baby. From when I was a child.
I grew up in a house where there was really rarely any alcohol, so I never imagined I'd grow up in houses that there was alcohol in.
Let alone drink it.
Let alone drink it, honestly. Like, yeah. Not for religious reasons. It was just...
Oh, dude.
I come from an uptight people.
I was like Baptist, Pentecostal, but I always went
You still were in a marijuana
race. I went to communion at the Catholic Church.
Fiona is the same height when can you say it? You made me laugh too hard. I can't read it anymore.
Says she's the same height she was when she was 12. She was tallest in the class then, but not anymore.
Oh, that's funny. Christy said, me either, Fiona. And look, the deets, www.luckyboysconfusion.net or www.facebook.com/Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Ms. and the Infusions. Thanks, Carrie. Thanks, Carrie is not part of it if you're only listening.
Wait. Go. Thank you.
Okay.
I love the website address. Lucky Boys Confusion.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Awesome.
I know.
That's like really deep, actually.
I know.
Anyways.
Okay.
You can move on.
Too deep for this podcast. We'll put it back up again, though. Christy said, same Fiona, I used to be tall once, and I grew outward, not upward.
Come on.
So Shawnee, trying to circle back to the podcast.
Oh, what? What podcast?
Yeah, exactly. Do you have any, strange things?
That I never thought I'd do as an adult?
Links, yeah. Thoughts, yeah.
I don't know if I got any more personal ones right now. I mean, I'm sure I got a million. I never thought I'd be a cop, but we already went over that.
Yeah, I still can't believe you ever were.
I never thought I'd live in Maine.
Stubhy,
That's for damn sure.
Stubhy said, I never thought I'd be married to a white girl with mixed kids, and yet you are. Amazing.
See?
Life's so weird.
Lucky Boys Confusion.
.net. That's so funny, actually. And
it is funny.
Melissa's there but has no comment. So hi, Melissa.
She probably did.
Maybe she deleted it.
Maybe she forgot.
Maybe she was just like, no, they don't deserve my comment. Very confusing, Stevie says. Honestly, anything confusing just fits right into this podcast. So
what?
There's another Reddit thread that then got picked up by BuzzFeed. And I swear, all the radio stations and BuzzFeed and podcasts like ours steal from Reddit all the time. It's like they crowdsource their
I told
topics.
You, when I searched up the podcast, doing some research, the first 5 ones were from different website addresses, but all related to that.
Yeah, Reddit thread.
You had already called shotgun on.
I did call it.
Dibs. Dibs.
Speaking of shotguns, Susie said, I never thought I would learn to handle weapons. Neither did. Well, I still don't know how to handle a weapon. But
she's getting there. Well,
no, I'm not. Let's just be honest.
Practice a little more. But she's got her own gun.
I don't know where it is.
I do.
In a safe somewhere?
Yeah.
All right, but
Locked away from you, baby.
Exactly.
I mean, not because you don't know how to handle a weapon.
I don't know how to handle a weapon. I grew up in a house where we were very adamantly against it. Like, you couldn't have a BB gun in my house. Like, you couldn't have anything like that. Like, my father was also against hunting.
I had to take Carrie's away from her and lock it up because the squirrels were dropping like flies. Pow, 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 pow.
Sometimes Sean lies.
I do never lie.
I never imagined I'd marry someone who lied so much about me when I was an adult. So I guess I technically do own a gun somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Squirrel pie, said Fiona.
We're gonna try it.
We are?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because remember, we're gonna
in
do
the
that,
apocalypse.
We're gonna do that like we're gonna do like that urban roadkill cookbook.
No.
Like rotisserie pigeon.
No. You're lying.
What?
I was a very strict vegetarian as a kid, and I never thought I'd grow up and marry a Sean.
Oh, what'd you have? Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. You're fantastic, baby.
Susie said she still can't chew gum in public, and Dee said, I never thought I'd be friends with a best-selling author and the wearer of unicorn things.
Dee, we don't talk about that anymore.
I love you, Dee.
The second half, I mean.
I'm very lucky to be your friend, Dee.
Oh, wait, I thought she was talking about me wearing the unicorn thing.
Are you the best-selling author?
Well, no, but I thought it was two different things. Because I did wear the unicorn one time, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
But Dee didn't know that.
I think Dee knows.
Oh.
Roadkill, says Fiona. You don't have to pound the meat, pre-pounded. Oh my gosh, Canada. You're so Canada right there in Scotland. It's like, whoa. Stubby's wife is listening, and she said she'd never thought she'd be a vegetarian. It's like we switched places.
What? Oh, does that mean she is a vegetarian?
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Sorry.
No. I miss me. Oh, okay. LOL, says Fiona. And Susie said, I never thought I would build a house I lived in. Plumbing and roofing were my favorite tasks. That's very cool. And your daughter-in-law is handy like that too. So that's kind of, I could never build anything.
You could. And you know what the best part of that would be?
How crooked it was?
After you built it, no, you'd have to be supervised like a kindergartner with paint. But after you built it, you would actually be able to then maintain it. Like now, you may not be able to handle some sort of mechanical emergency in the house. But if you had something to do with designing and constructing it, you probably would be able to.
No, I don't think so. Because
don't sell yourself short, baby.
No, I know myself. So what happens with me and mechanical things is that if I don't do that mechanical thing all the time, I lose that mechanical ability. Like
I've been telling you that. I'm not going to go. That was a joke.
Are you talking about something that I think you're talking about?
Yeah, that was a joke, but I'm going to stop. Why don't you go down to Stubby's comment, because it's pretty funny.
I never thought I'd learn how to use a semicolon. Thanks, Carrie. My work here is done.
I know. Stubby, I got to give you credit, because she's been trying to teach me still for 2 years now.
You're going to, I believe in you. You're gonna get it. And you know the truth is you won't even let me use mechanical things. Like I'm not allowed to touch this chain. I'm like you're my dad, but I like if I try to turn on something like a chainsaw, both Sean and Emmy, our daughter, are like, no, you're gonna die. No, it's very bad. And they're the same way about scissors, honestly, with me. I thought that as a grown-up, I would be allowed to use scissors, but unfortunately, that dream has not come true.
It's just a blunt-ended one, baby. You can only cut wrapping paper with.
Stevie said, I'm not saying I got it down. I just know when I'm supposed to. And then Doug, going back to the semicolon, said, I'm still learning how to use my colon.
Me too. If I had me too. If I had too much milk at night.
That's something I never imagined as a grown up.
What?
I never imagined
irritable bowel syndrome.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Vomitous syndrome.
Yeah, but like, I never, like my my grandmother, one of them, because I had a few. She was constantly like, you'd go over the house, and she'd be like, "How are your movements?"
Jeez.
And you'd be like, what?
Maybe she just had like a fetish.
Maybe. But she was like really obsessed with it. And I think that there's something very interesting about how some of us at a certain age we talk about it a lot. And then it's like we're little kids making fart jokes all the time. It's again like you revert back to childhood.
Hey, if that grandmother gave you a glass of water, did it taste like crappy orange flavor and was cloudy?
Metamucil?
Yeah.
No, my Grammy didn't. My Grammy lived to like 102, 103, and she never had any chemicals. She didn't eat food with chemicals.
Well, that was just fiber, man.
I know, but she still.
So
it was orange, Sean. It's not normal.
Oh, okay.
That's not natural. I never thought I'd talk about Metamucil.
Read Fiona's comment.
Hold on, I can't sit there.
It's right there.
Oh, they may be worried you'll get them with a chainsaw.
Oh, no. She'll never get started.
I'd have to use it once I found where the gun safe was. I'd have to use it to open up the safe because I don't know the lock. And then, or is there a key?
That's a key, but you don't know where the key is.
I don't know where the key is. And then it's like I'm a child. It's like you lock things away from me.
No, that's not true.
But I truly never thought I would like live in a house where there was ever a gun in it. Honestly, like that was like the opposite of what I imagined as a kid. I mean, I think I adamantly like swore that I would never live in a house that had a gun in it. Actually,
I'm sure you did.
I was very self-righteous. And let's see. Susie said, I never thought my son and I would ride a tandem bicycle around the Scudic loop twice. We were participating in a fundraiser.
Twice.
For those of you who don't know, the Scudic Loop is part of Acadia National Park, but not on Mount Desert Island, and it's very beautiful and hilly. Right?
I'm not that. I've probably driven around that thing like twice.
He doesn't. We don't let him off the island. What? I said we don't let you off the island.
I know.
Stubby said, you know what I really didn't think I'd be as an adult? Sick. You know what? That sucks, actually. Oh, just here to bring down the party.
Nice.
No, but it's true. And that's kind of like part of that whole body thing, too. I mean, in a different way. But, like, you don't imagine that you'll grow up and have, like, I didn't imagine I'd grow up and have epilepsy, which is not the same either. But, like, you don't imagine that you're going to grow up and have things that make you feel bad. Do you know what I mean? Like
I do know what you mean.
Like,
yeah,
like Sean didn't imagine he'd grow up and have 3 different types of skin cancer all in 1 year. Woo, Sean. Like, it's so weird. Like, because you think you're gonna be healthy and feel good if you've been blessed enough to be healthy and feel good as a little kid. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I know what you mean.
I kind of thought I'd magically grow up and have depth perception and be able to see. Like,
that didn't happen. I'm so sorry. Man.
I know. I think that's another reason why I'm not allowed to use the chainsaw.
That might be a big part of why you're not allowed to use any machinery.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I took a big leap with the lawnmower.
Good with the lawnmower. Am I not good with a lawnmower?
Oh, no, you do a great job.
You
still got all your toesies.
My mom wouldn't let me use the lawnmower either.
I believe it.
So mean.
But I'm not your mom.
Fiona said that a smell color of pee can be a non-techie way of assessing overall health back in the day. That was really true, actually. Like, that goes back to my Grammy comment, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
Oh, yeah. Like, especially the color. I mean, some people got good noses like Carrie. You could probably tell if she was pregnant by the smell of her pee. But
I can tell a lot of things about other people who are pregnant by
But my nose
smelling
is
them.
not nearly as good as hers. Is like a dog nose. I'm telling you what.
I do have a dog
Ugh.
nose. I can tell people like what they ate for
But
lunch.
the color of pee is definitely indicative of health. I imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what mine's like. Friggin' spring morning mountain stream every day.
Okay, what I never imagined as a kid or even as an adult before today was that I would be on a podcast talking about poop and pee and Sean.
Who said anything about poop?
My Grammy was all about.
Oh, you were talking about poop.
Movements. Yes.
Well, I was just talking about pee. That's the lesser of the two evils right there.
Mm-hmm.
I win.
Fiona said you'd have to use it like a saw. I would have to use the chainsaw like a saw. Christy's giving you love, Stubby, and which is very nice. Christy's like the nicest. And Christy said, I never thought I'd have a bullet in my leg for 30 years, which sounds like kind of a story that you don't need to feel forced to tell. But wow. Chrissy, I don't know if you remember my dog Scotty. He had a bullet, like a bunch of bullets in him. He was not from us. He was a rescue. He came that way.
He came that way. But not via plane because he couldn't get through the metal detector.
No, not that boy. Fiona said, when I was a kid, I was convinced I could teach myself how to fly, and that it was just that humans hadn't quite figured out the mechanics out yet. I had that same thing.
I hope you didn't try to launch yourself off of anything too high.
I truly believe that I could figure out how to fly too.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, because our arms and hands are nothing like a bird's wings.
I just was pretty positive we could do it. That it was just.
We don't have the square footage of coverage, and our bones are way too heavy. Dude,
seriously, remember that that book I just referenced earlier on, the Reluctant Messiah book by Richard Bach, Illusions was the name of it, and how I was obsessed with it. One of the reasons I was obsessed with it was because the guy in the book, not Richard, yes, the author's name was Richard too, which was mind-blowing to me as a kid, but the Messiah guy was teaching Richard how to do things like to walk on water and to change matter all through the power of belief, etc. And I was like, yeah, if you can do that, I'm definitely going to be able to fly all by myself.
Huh.
I was positive.
Well, I mean, you did manage to learn how to talk to the trees.
I did talk to a lot of trees. So
you still did.
I do talk to trees. So Christy said, you're not supposed to tell everybody all my secrets. So Christy said, I grew up in Detroit, so poor Scotty.
Oh, geez.
Scotty was from the South. Not Detroit. Christy, I can't believe you have a bullet in your leg. That makes me sad. Doug said, we can fly, but the fares are getting insane.
Well, we wouldn't know because we haven't had the luxury of being able to take a vacation in a year.
A year.
And
we didn't fly.
A year and a month. Oh, we drove, didn't we? So it's been 2 years.
Yeah, at least. Maybe 3, actually. It's been a long time. Susie said, I never thought that I would see one of my kids throw their hamster. Dude, this podcast is getting dark. Throw their hamster out the upstairs window. The kid figured out how big a parachute the hamster needed to land safely in a La Egg container. I'm going to have to show people what a La Egg is.
Oh, I know what that is.
Of course you do, baby.
Well, that's because I was with a single mom and I used to go pantyhose shopping all the time. And I love the eggs when she took the pantyhose out. It's like the world's biggest Easter egg. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Because the lid goes on to the bottom. They were hard plastic, just like an Easter egg, colored.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And you liked it?
The egg, not the pantyhose.
Because what did you do? Did you put stuff in the egg? Did you put a hamster in it and dump it out a window?
Well, yeah, but I put the top and the bottom on, so it wasn't a parachute effect. It was just more like a little bomb with a hamster in it.
Oh, there you go. See, here's a whole bunch of eggs. I don't even know how to say that, actually.
I just said legs. Legs, like your leg. They're just all different. Because, see, it's an egg-shaped container, La Egg.
I thought
front
it was
legs.
being like French, and I had to do like an
Well, that
accent
too.
or
It's
something.
like a triple play. It's an egg-shaped container.
Yeah.
It's for your eggs.
So you're eggs.
And egg with the comma there is kind of French.
Look, they have deviled eggs when you look up la eggs.
Of course they do, because nobody hardly even knows what that is anymore.
Oh man, that's depressing.
I know. Queen size. That's what my mom always had to buy, was the queen size. I remember that.
Really?
Sorry, Mom. She's not listening, but yeah, always queen size.
Your mom's a tall woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a very tall woman.
Not anymore, but she was.
Yeah, my mom was like 5 feet tall.
She's had some shrinkage.
Yeah. So, Christy said no vacations for us either. Boo. Exactly. Fiona said stored the tadpoles in there for Sean's frog ranch. We should go get some. I
remember what I did with those things. I did used to like to get them.
I guess it is legs.
Yeah.
You're right, Shawnee. Good for you. And Fiona said, can we just give a shout out to the kid who figured out a parachute for the hamster? That's kind of amazing. Was that art, Susie? Like, because I would like to know if that was art or if it was your daughter, because that's amazing.
Like, I think a handkerchief would be big enough to take a hamster down safely.
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all right, go ahead.
Dee says, same. She can't remember her last vacation. And Susie said, we still have a couple of containers rattling around in her craft room.
No way.
So cool.
That is. That's really cool.
It's super cool. What?
Legs.
I know. It's amazing.
So we haven't talked crap about what we were supposed to be talking about.
I know. We failed again on our podcast.
We didn't fail. Christy has another comment.
We tangent a lot, you know?
Yeah.
All right. So Christy said, I never thought I'd meet Henry Winkler, the Fonz, but I did. He's so small.
He is small, isn't he?
Yeah. I met him in California at a Society of Children Book Writers conference.
What was he doing there?
He co-wrote a book with the woman who founded the Society of Children's Book Writer and Illustrators. I can never say that right, which is why I suck at schmoozing. But yeah, and all the presenters at the conference got to go to her house.
Yeah.
I think it was her house. I kind of don't remember a lot about it because I was like, what? I'm in California. And there was a big pool and everybody was much fancier than I am. Again, theme of my life. And the Fonz was there. Yeah. And people were crowding around him, so I didn't.
Of course you did.
Yeah. I hung out with Arthur Levine, who was this guy who edited the American version of Harry Potter. And we sang John Gorka in the bus, because they had a bus that took us back, or a van or something.
Who sang John Gorka? You and that other guy?
And Arthur Levine, yeah.
Just the two of you?
Yeah.
I can see that.
And then all the other authors got mad at me because they wanted to be friends with him because he had edited Harry Potter, but I hadn't realized that at the time.
They probably didn't know John Gorka.
No, they didn't. But he had a song, I'm from New Jersey, and Arthur was from New Jersey, and so I'm like, oh, like the John Gorka song, because I have no filter. And then we started singing the John Gorka song. And that is my only memory of Arthur. Because I'm the worst schmoozer in the world. Dee is very jealous of Christy because she's always wanted to meet the Fonz. Christy says the Fonz is sweet. Sorry, Henry Winkler. The nicest guy. She also met Fergie, and she was super small too. I can't imagine Fergie in real life, actually. Huh. And Susie says, I can't read this. You read this.
It says he went through a dozen real eggs because he weighed the hamster to figure out weight equivalents. Yeah, that seems about right. A hamster to an egg. He called me at work to ask if he could use an old umbrella cover as a mini parachute. I thought he was using it on his army men figures.
Oh my gosh.
I was never bold enough to try it on a hamster. That's pretty cool.
That's a lot of confidence. Or you just
don't care about the hamster.
Yeah. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
Stubby says that Pink is tiny. I imagine that she'd be tiny.
Really?
Yeah. Only because there was I saw one image of her once a really long time ago, and I was like, are those normal sized people around her or giants? And like, I remember thinking, oh, she's like, and it's weird because she has such a big voice and presence. So like, yeah, that's kind of amazing to me. Like to think. So it's nice to know that. How about you, babe? Everybody's tiny to Shawnee.
Well, not really.
Well, if you were in like,
everybody's just normal. For me, if you're tiny, you're tiny. Like if Pink's tiny, I'd probably think she's tiny. But you know, people like your height and stuff are just anybody between like 5'2" and 6 foot is just normal to me. Like
that's not true.
Like the average American.
The other day, we were talking about someone, and you're like, he's so short. I'm like, dude, he's like 6 feet tall, and you're like, he's short. I'm like, no, he's not. He's tall. He's 6 feet tall. You don't remember that?
No, I don't. If I could remember, it might help me.
It's all that marijuana haze from your childhood, baby.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Sorry. Stubby said she visited the studio when we were recording in LA. Oh, that's cool. I hope she was nice because I only want nice people to visit the studio. And Dee said, wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. I have a moment here. God. Imagine you're in a studio and like Pink comes in.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I guess.
I kind of like, I don't know. That's so wild. Oh, yeah.
I mean, maybe if I was something into something so hard, like a musician.
All right. So did you ever have, like what would that equivalent be in your life? Like for that? What would the equivalent be for mine?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's so fun.
I honestly don't know.
That's so fun to think. All right. Sorry. Nobody wants to listen to me think. So Dee says, I never thought I'd find someone else who's seemed dazed and confused. All right, sorry, you gotta read that, man.
Right,
there you go.
What?
All right.
I love dazed and confused.
He really does.
That's like what I want to be when I grow up.
I think you're almost there, baby. Christy says, I'm convinced everyone on TV is mini-sized.
It seems that way.
It seems that way.
Christ, they're even downsizing the big people, like if they make a book, like the Jack Reacher series. Tom Cruise playing somebody that's supposed to be 6'2". Give me a break.
Christopher said that you two switching the size of the screen has freaked me out.
Oh my God, Chris, it's been freaking me out all night, but I didn't have the balls to say anything to Carrie about it.
I don't know how it happened.
I've been off all night because of it. It's fucking killing me.
Language.
Sorry.
Banned from Facebook again.
Now Carrie knows. It's been bothering me all night, but I didn't want to say
Is that why
anything.
you were self-soothing, rocking back and forth and stuff?
Probably.
Oh, we'll have to figure out how to fix
like
that.
Everything in my world is reversed.
It's not right. You don't want that. Although maybe that's good. It gets you out of your comfort zone.
No, I work better in my comfort zone, even if I don't think it's my comfort zone.
The disappointment is going from childhood to adulthood. I am still vacuuming, washing dishes, cleaning toilets, doing laundry, and fixing meals. Sigh, says Susie.
Yeah. I don't have that problem. I mean, I helped out a little bit around the house, but I didn't do all that.
I just, like I said before, Susie, I never imagined I'd spend so much time picking up dog poop.
I know, because I do all the rest of the stuff on that. Oh no, Carrie cleans the toilets frequently.
I'm the toilet cleaner and the dog
pooper.
I don't poop dogs. I mean, I clean the dog poop.
What?
I said I'm the toilet cleaner and the dog poop.
You poop dogs?
I don't poop dogs.
Are you like a balloon artist, but with poop?
That's so gross.
We can make some money off of that.
I don't want to make money that way.
We just need a waterproof camera.
Yeah, gross. It's like many people move, Chris says. No, not Tom Cruise. I can't. Stubby says, what? You can't say the F word. And no, you can't. And
Susie says it all the time. I trained her good. That was the one accomplishment in my life I'm proud of. I trained Carrie how to say the word. Fuck.
We don't say that word in the podcast.
I say it almost every episode.
He does. And I try so hard. This is why I don't like live. All right. So Susie said, Chris says that Susie should get a housekeeper. And Christy, however, relates to Susie. And Stubby says, was it only me that I thought I'd find the meaning of life in adulthood? No. I also am still searching for that.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't know if I ever thought that was going to come true, but I'm still waiting.
I, however, have not given up hope yet. Fiona says, that sounds painful, Carrie. Maybe that's the irritable bowel. Need to change your diet. It's not me. I have a fine tummy. My movements are fine. My great-grandma, my Grammy... my Grammy from beyond the grave has blessed me with very great regularity, even into my adulthood.
I'm the one with the irritable bowel.
It is definitely Sean, Captain Chemical. I can't put Chris's up.
What?
I can't put Chris's comment up, and you're not gonna say it either. And Stubby said that he really did. I really did too. I thought I would understand everything as an adult. Like, I thought I would get it all. Like,
that's why people get Alzheimer's, man.
Why?
Because they never do understand, and they just kind of go crazy trying.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like
I don't think that's the scientific reason, but it works for me right now. Yeah. Dee is laughing very hard. As she blessed you with frequent, not frequent, but regular bowel movements. Oh.
Regularly 3 or 4 times a day.
I know. 27. It was 27 times today. You know what my Facebook ads are gonna be like now? Like, they're gonna.
You're gonna be like Metamucil and X-Lax and toilet, all kinds of toilet implements.
Diapers. It's gonna be like everything.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be all so bad.
The pins.
You know, it's been an hour.
It's been way over an hour.
I know. It's time to end the podcast.
Wow, my God.
Right when it finally got funny.
Huh?
Huh?
I've been funny all night. I'm sorry. You said
you were off. You said you were off because you're on the wrong side.
Oh, I was just in case people didn't like it, I was making an excuse.
Oh my God.
But it did throw me off, and it still is. I can't even really look at it. It's because my eyes are facing the wrong way. Normally they'd be facing to my left, but the screen's right.
Oh boy. Fiona said we better talk about something else quickly to confuse the AI.
Yeah.
And Christy said, is it me, or am I never going to actually feel like I'm an adult? I still don't think of myself as one of the grown-ups.
Oh, we have that problem too.
We definitely do.
Or I do, at least.
Yeah. We once had a friend, that we were talking about a fancy shindig that he is in charge of. It's a fundraiser, and they have fancy people there. Like Martha Stewart and millionaires, etc. And he was like, oh, you guys, I don't think you could come.
Have we been there?
No, not that one.
No.
And I was like, what? Why? And he's like, well, the rich people, like, I don't think you'd fit in. And I wanted to be like, dude, I had a billionaire at my last wedding. I think I'm all right. But it was very, very funny.
Oh, we can fit in anywhere.
We can fit in anywhere.
I'll make it happen.
Do you know why? Because we just don't care. So, Dee said, same Christy. Christy said, haha. And Stubby said, best-selling, maybe. Maybe. But I was very annoyed. I mean, I love my friend, but I was like, dude, you don't know my acting skills. Fiona said I would go precisely to not fit in.
That's what I usually do.
That is, no. Remember, we went to that fancy one.
I know.
Yeah.
And we fit in perfectly.
We actually did fit in perfectly.
We attract people.
We did. They flock. So probably because we're so weird. It's hard. Right. Like, it's like when you're this weird.
Because we're not stuffy and uptight.
People just want to understand you.
I'm pretty straight.
Pretty straight?
Like, not sexually, just in my communication with people.
Oh, yeah. Sean holds on punches. Susie said, I never thought I would spend my old age talking about my aches, pains, and bowel movements. Exactly.
Dude, that makes up like 40% of our day's conversation.
No, it does not.
mean, we've got a phrase. No. We've got a secret code for going to the bathroom in the morning. I'm gonna go do Wordle.
Oh,
now.
that's so old people actually. I can't believe we just told everyone that. Oh my gosh!
Maybe
all right,
it's almost 8:10.
All right, we're ending. We're ending. So thank you everyone for being here. Do you want to close up, babe?
Sorry we didn't stick to the subject.
We totally didn't stick to the subject.
Well, hopefully we've educated on Carrie's miraculous bowel movements and made you have a little laugh or two. Oh, we hope that you have a great weekend.
Man, that's so mean. And listen to Stubby's beautiful music.
Yeah.
But he's much more than just this. It's like, whoa, amazing.
No, well, he put his website out there.
I know. I'm just saying.
People didn't go listen to it all, I imagine.
I hope so, because it's super cool. All right, thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you very much.
I don't poop that much. The end.
Oh, she does.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to Loving the Strange. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And remember, embrace the strange. New episodes every Saturday, live streaming Fridays. Go get your strange on, friends. Thanks for listening. Good job, baby.